I'm with Dustin, the owner of Video Game Rescue. And Dustin, let's start out by giving an overview of how you got into this industry. Because I know a lot of parents are yelling at their kids saying, hey, you're not going to make a living off of playing video games, but you have.
Say that, yes, absolutely. Whenever I was a kid, believe it or not, I was really nerdy. And I always tried to find a way to add more games to my collection. So I would buy games and kind of keep the ones I needed and sell the extras. You know, it's funny that you say growing up and being able to do this. Like, my guidance counselor was like, there's no money in video games. That's me an apology, wherever you're at out there. But yeah, I started out by collecting myself, and then I quickly realized that there was not only money in it, but there's a community to be behind it that needs to be built. Because here in Jacksonville, whenever I was a teenager, there was nothing like this. There was no safe place for us nerds to come and be nerds. You know, so I wanted to be able to build and create my nerd castle.
And that's kind of like the second name of this place. As soon as I walked in, Dustin's like, welcome to my nerd castle.
Yes, exactly. It's because it's more than just video games. It's, it's card games, board games, arcade games. It's anything that us nerds enjoy and like do on a regular basis. That's what I want to encompass and bring that in here.
And right now, we are where you walk in and you could see all the games behind us. So you could come here, you could trade in games, trade in old consoles, but also buy.
Absolutely. We take everything from Atari to the current stuff. I like to say if it's nerdy, we'll take it. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Very cool. Now, throughout the store, there's more things to do here, right? There's an arcade, and then there's also a game room. So right now, why don't we take a little tour and check out the arcade side of it?
Absolutely. Let's go check it out.
All right.
My babies.
Now we're in the center of the store, and it's a arcade and a lot of vintage games. So how long did it take you to assemble this?
It took me a couple years. I've been collecting not only regular video games, but arcade games. But it took me a little bit because, as you can tell, they take up a lot of space. And the wife's not too keen on putting that in the living room. So whenever I acquired the location, like within 6 months, I took over what this was a thrift store. So I took it over and I started buying arcade machines. And I got lucky. Like, you hear about people finding stuff in barns all the time. Well, the first arcades I bought were in a barn. And the guy had them literally covered in tarps in a barn out in the middle of Georgia somewhere. And I was like, I'll take them all. Don't care. I'll take them all. And without even seeing anyone work, I took them all home and started working on them and figuring out what was going on. And this is what you see now, is a lot of them from that time. And
there's about 3 rooms just full of different games. And now, is this open to the general public?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all original stuff like quarters. So, I mean, you're playing Pac-Man, putting a quarter in there, same thing. Come on, put a quarter in it.
Very cool. So that's something for a lot of viewers out there, especially with kids or grandkids, or just viewers like us who just want to play some vintage video games. You got to check this out. Now, the last room is all about the games, really with the cards.
Yes, cards, board games, and video game tournaments.
Let's go check that out. And our last stop is the game room. So, Dustin, what's this room all about?
It's kind of our ever-changing room that we have here. So we do everything from card games, board games, video game tournaments, parties for kids. We actually do more parties for adults than kids, which is pretty crazy. I guess it's not surprising. But it changes all the time. So like on Wednesdays, it'll be tabletops where you can find tabletop games and card games. When Thursdays, you come here, there'll be TVs everywhere, video game consoles when people are playing. So it's always ever-changing here. It's kind of like our extra nerd room we have.
And you have special nights that have like a theme with them.
Yes. So Wednesdays would be card games, board games, D&D. Thursdays would be Smash Brothers. Fridays is kind of like a free-for-all kind of play things. Saturdays, card games. So the tournaments would be Saturday mornings around that time. And like we keep the rest of the time kind of open to let people come in here and play games. Like these people behind us, it's just regular Thursday for them in the afternoon. They come and play games too.
Very cool, and I love it's just open to the public to come on in. And something that's really cool that you do, you have a great eye, especially for art, and you support a lot of local artists. And when I look up, I see all these amazing tiles. So what's the story with that?
So we initially started this whenever we opened up. We had an Indiegogo campaign where we asked the public, hey, I have this great idea. Help me, help you, and help all of us in creating this amazing game store. So part of that was if you donated a certain amount of money, we would give you a tile. You could paint it whatever you wanted, and then we would put it up in the store forever. So to continue that idea, we charge people $10. We'll give them a tile. You paint whatever you want on it, as long as it's family appropriate. You bring it back. I get you your $10 back and $10 store credit, and your art gets up in my store for the rest of the time I'm here.
Very cool. Dustin, I am definitely a fan of your Nerd Castle. It is awesome. If people want to learn more, what's the best route?
All right, you can find us at videogamerescue.com. All the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. But you can also find us at 2415 Blanding Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida. Number's 904-361-3626.
All right, thank you for the tour. I think I'm going to go play some video games.
Thank you.